Hey guys, this is Mitch from Boardco. There's a lot of info out there about who has the biggest, longest, best wake surf wave in the world. So rather than telling you about it, we figured today we'd just show you. You've probably seen a lot of info out there about how every boat manufacturer has the biggest, baddest, longest wake surf wave out there in the world. Well, rather than trying to give you a bunch of marketing hype and saying things like this is the best wake surf wave the industry has ever seen, or to give you some weird angle shots or some other different areas where you can't even see the surf wave, we decided we'd take a little bit more straightforward approach. We're out here on a Centurion boat at Sand Hollow, and we're gonna do some surfing, and we're gonna take this tape measure and show you how long of a surf wave you can actually get behind a Centurion boat. So Jack, tell us what you're gonna be doing.
So I'm just gonna hop in on the Phase 5 Model X and just really see how far back behind the boat we can get.
A few things I wanted to talk about. First one is, Jack is on a regular wake surf board. This is not a long board, this isn't a paddle board, this isn't any kind of shady, weird stuff. It's a regular wake surf board. It's not even a really big one for that matter. We're going to be measuring the distance from this back seat rest here in the boat right here. The reason we're doing that instead of measuring it from the very back of the boat is we're here at Sand Hollow and we don't want to be standing back here, which is illegal. So we're going to show you how far of a distance it is from here to here, from the back of the boat. Here into the middle, we're running right about 5 feet. So whatever length it is, cut that off by 5 feet and that'll get the length from the very back of the boat back to where Jack's going to be surfing. So you can jump in, take the tape measure, and we'll show you what we come up with. All right, guys, Jack is getting up, getting set. He's tossing the rope over. We got our tape measure sitting out there, and we're just letting it wind out so that he can show us how far back he can get on that wave. As you can see, there's some slack in the line that goes right there. That way you can see that he's not using the tape measure like a rope to keep in the wave, but he's actually fully staying in the power zone of the wave all on his own. So you can see how far back he's actually able to get back here on the wave. And he's just fading further and further back here. Right there where he's at, he's staying in the wave. That is just past 34 feet when you measure it to right here. So he keeps moving back and forth a little bit, but we're running between, easily between 30 and 36 feet is where he's kind of moving back and forth in. So that he came in a little bit closer, you can see we're back out here to 33 feet right there. So even if you take off the 5 feet for the back's hatch right here, we're still running a 28 to 31 foot surf wave that goes out there behind the boat that he's able to hang out in and surf in. You have all that area that you can play around in, use to generate speed, and come back in. Nice. He's tossing the tape measure. You can see that he's staying back in. He's able to keep in with the wave. And it's all surfable area that entire way back there. Jack, just got back in. How was it out there?
Super fun. It's great being that far back, and even when there were waves and rollers coming in, there's a lot of mass to the waves, so just like when I'm riding, when we have it normally slammed and set up for a big steep barrely wave, all I had to do was a little carve or a hop and I'm right back into the wave, and there's just push back there to keep you going. It was really awesome. You saw we clocked it going as high as 36 feet behind the boat is what it was reaching out to on the tape measure. 36 feet? Yeah. That's crazy. So even if you factor the 5 feet of the back hatch of the boat here, all that stuff, you're still dealing with a 30-foot long surf wave. Full disclosure, we don't have the boat set up the way that we normally do. We're running a little bit faster, but even when you slow it down just a tiny bit, you only lose a couple feet on that wave. And so you still have a 25 to 30 foot long surf wave that you have the ability to play and move behind, and you can use it to generate speed, to come in and do tricks coming off the lip. It really just opens up an unlimited amount of potential. Yeah, if I didn't have the tape measure, I was kind of tempted to just go up and back on the platform because there was so much surfable waves, so we might have to go back out and do that down here. One of the other things that we want to talk about is why this boat has such a long surf wave.
There's a few factors. Factor number one is the hull design that we run on the boats. It naturally produces a wave that fans back out further and is going to be longer naturally. But in addition to that, it also is running the most ballast of any boat out there on the market. So you have more water coming off the back end of the boat, which can then be shaped and contoured in whatever way you like. In this case, we shaped it to kick out a really long wave that you can get way far back on. But you can't do that without having more volume of water coming off the back end. And so you can use that to make that super long wave that we just saw, or you can stack it up and make it bigger and steeper if you wanted to. It's all totally up to you and your preference, and you can do that all with the touch of just controlling the dash. Maybe thinking that we're surfing behind the RI 257, which is our biggest, baddest surf boat that does throw the longest surf wave of any boat that we sell. But we're actually not. We're actually out on the RI 237. So this is our #1 selling model, but we do 2 different models of boats that are longer than this one and that will kick out an even longer surf wave. So it's not just that we have a bigger boat or anything of that nature. This boat is smaller than a lot of other boats on the market, and they don't have nearly the surf wave potential that this guy does. We challenge anybody that thinks that they have a surf wave that can compare to go through and measure and show us what you got. But aside from that, we hope that was able to show you that this boat really does kick out the best and longest surf wave of any boat out on the water. For more info, check out boardco.com. We'll see you soon.